Sure enough to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you, to show the devils you ain't and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah.
Boy, look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way, boy. Tell him get the fuck off the beach, boy. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat, boy. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe it. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 V's. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If they cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'ma hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
But I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, shalom. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shabrak all my brothers. Yahweh Shemal Athaba Shemi Al-Shada all my sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is, of course, the step back here, Yohana's because so I can see us on the camera. Okay, right here. That's why. Most High Christ. So, of course, this is the Sabbath service. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get right into it. You know what I mean? All right. So we're going to pick up from where we left off last week. First things first, of course, we're going to get into these prayers. All right. So, Yanzo, you got it? A horn first? At the water. Most High in Christ. Yeah. And with that, Imadium, which means to stand. Wapanya Aquadum, Salakia. I don't know why I keep saying that. Wapanya Quadum, Salakia, which means turn and face the east. All right. We're going to start with the prayers. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Shabbat Shemayim. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Haya. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. Haya. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Haya. Bashemayim. Netanlinawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawum. Wasalaknawa. Kawawafanawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawafnawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya'ayanawa. Banasaya one. A ball. Hawashayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahrathaparith. La'Iwalumium. Aman.
In the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed
be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. The prayer for power in the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Hawashai. Baba Kashah. Latananawa. Hakak. Hakak. La Para'ah. Kal Makalah. Kal Madawa. Hakak. La Tahar. Hamatazarium. Hakak. La Hakwiyum. Hamathium. Hakak. Al-Kawath. Hatama'ala. Lagarishun. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The water Amun.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them
out. In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kotazayanyam. Ha Koyoyoyum. Wahak Akwathian. Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. The water Amun.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharium. Mahayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Wa Arataza. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regolka. Al-Yanawam. Shemarka. Hanala'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazolka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'atka, Wababa'atka, Mayatha, Wa'id,
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills,
from
whence cometh my help.
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot.
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
To be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Fakarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa al-Fashakwat.
Wa al-Tashakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awabiaka.
Awayabika.
Yahama Yawun.
Yahama Yawun.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'ira Yamwa.
Ya'ira Yamwa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Ya'itazawa.
Ya'itazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam.
Magowa.
Magoya.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'Allah.
Sham Yasha'Allah.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Now what? Itazawa.
Now Itazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Barayath.
Barayath.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Aholwa.
Aholya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa Yashamai.
Wa Yashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa Abwa.
Mawa Abba.
Wa Hagarium.
Hagarium.
Gabol.
Gabol.
Wa Amawan.
Wa Amawan.
Wa Amalak.
Wa Amalak.
Palashat.
Palashath.
I'm Yeshabia.
I'm Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham.
Kamadian.
Kamadian.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Banakol.
Banakol.
Kwayashwan.
Kwayashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayan.
Ba'ayan.
Da'ara.
Da'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
Arama.
Arama.
Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Nadayabmawa.
Nadayabmawa.
Karab.
Karab.
Wakazaaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakatazol.
Wakatazol.
Mana'ai.
Mana'ai.
Kalnaya Sakamwa.
Kalnaya Sakamwa.
Ashor.
Ashor.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayarashwa. Nayarasha.
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 Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ath.
Nayawath.
Nayawath. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagogala.
Kagogala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Rawaka.
Lapanya Rawaka.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabi Ira. Yaira.
Taba Ira. Yaira.
Wakalaba.
Wakalahaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Daradapma.
Daradapma.
Basa Irika.
Basa Irika.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapathka.
Wapathka.
Tabahalum.
Tabahalum.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyahum.
Panyahum.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabaholwa.
Wayabaholwa.
Aija'aid.
Aija'aid.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayadayawa.
Wayadaiwa.
Kaya Atha.
Kaya Atha.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Kalha Arataza.
Al-Kaha Arataza. In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
For lo,
thine enemies
make a tumult.
Make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against.
And consulted against
Thy hidden ones.
Thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come.
Come.
And let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel.
May be no more in remembrance.
No more in remembrance.
But they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against
the
thee.
tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And Hagarenes.
Gebal. And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur.
Assur.
Also is joined with them.
Is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
Which became dung for the earth.
Make their nobles.
Make their nobles.
Like Oreb.
Like Oreb.
And like Zeeb.
And like Zeeb.
Yea. All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zabah.
As Zabah.
And as Almunah.
And as Almunah.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let's take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh.
The houses of Yahweh.
In possession.
Into possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
Like the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth a wood.
And as the flame.
And as the flame.
Set the mountains on fire.
Set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
In trouble forever.
In trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Shop. So Most High in Christ, we're going to pick it up from where we left off last week, which is in the book of Numbers. We're in the book of Numbers chapter 7, and I would say we'll be starting at verse 80. Numbers chapter 7 and verse 80. And we've been reading all through through this section. We've been reading about, let me see, the live is still up. Can you hear me? Can, Most High in Christ. And we've been just reading about, the work getting done, man. The work getting done to the tabernacle, you know what I'm saying, the campus. You know what I'm saying? We're building ourselves up. Okay? And building our temple was the first part of that. And after that's done, all of these prominent men from all these different tribes got to come and pay their respects, right? And give an offering. All right. So that's what we've been reading about in Numbers chapter 7. So we're gonna start at verse 80. Go ahead, Giannis, hit him with the Hebrew. 80. Numbers chapter 7 and verse 80.
Wa'ath Arabai Hai Agalak Salakia Ha Agalath Wa'ath Shamanath Salakia Habakwar Nathun Labanya Mararia Kapaya Ibadathum Bayad.
Pass me the Tanakh if you could, Babu Shah.
This
Tanakh, yeah. Me too.
Abathum Bayad Ayathamor Ban Aharon Hakahan. Verse 9. Walabanya.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Salakia. No, 80.
80?
Yeah.
Oh,
so the Numbers chapter 7 and verse 80.
Okay, the water. Musa and Christ. I'm way off. Okay, Musa and Christ. Verse 80 in the Hebrew. Kapah. Akath. Asherah. Zahab, Mala'ah, Quatarath. Verse 81. Para or Par, Akkad, Ban, Bakwar, Ayol, Akkad, Kabash, Akkad, Ban, Shanathwa, La'ila. Verse 82. Sha'ayar, Isayam, Akkad, Lakata'ath. Verse 83. Walazabak, Hashalamyam, Bakwar, Shanyam, Ayalum, Kamasha, Ithadium, Kamasha, Kabashium, Banya, Shana, Hamasha, Za, Karaban, Akiarai, Ban, Ayanyam, verse 83, the last word. Ayanam.
It's like Ayanan, yeah.
Ayanan?
Ayanan.
Ayanun. So, the water out of one. Ayanun. Verse 84. Za'ath. Kanakath. Hamazabak. Bayawum. Hamashak. Athwa. Ma'ath. Nashaya Aya. Yasha'ala. Kwa'irath. Kasap. Shathium. Asherah. Mazarakia. Kasap. Shanyim. Ashar. Kapawath. Zahab. Shathium. Asherah. Verse 85. Shalasium. Wama'ah. Hakaraira. Ha'akath. Kasap. Washaba'ayim. Hamazarak. Ha'akad. Kal. Kasap. Hakalium. Aliapayum. Wa Arabai. Ma'awath. Bashakwal. Hakadash. Verse 86. That's the last one. Okay. Kapawath. Zahab. Shathium. Asherah. Mala'ath. Quatarath. Asherah. Hakap or Hakapa. Bashakwal. Hakadash. Kal. Zahab. Hakapawath. Asharium. Wama'ah. The book of Numbers, chapter 7, verse 80 in English. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense. 81. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. Verse 82. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Enan. Verse 84. This was the dedication of the altar in the day when it was anointed by the princes of Israel. 12 charges of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold. Verse 85, each charger of silver weighing 130 shekels, each bowl 70. All the vessels weighed 2,200 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. Verse 86, the golden spoons were 12 full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece after the shekel of the sanctuary. All the gold of the spoons was 120 shekels. So as we said, if I may, sir, as we said last week, when we came up out of Egypt, you know, the Egyptians gave us a whole lot of gold and silver and stuff. And this time we took that stuff and either it was already made or we made it into what it is now. And we always used utensils, man, to show that even when we came out of slavery, man, we was all civilized as far as the way we proceeded, man, and we conducted ourselves. Right. You understand what I'm saying? We were never savages, man. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? We was always a civilized people. That's right.
Right. That's a wild point out because everybody want to be African, right? You understand? Exactly. Everybody want to be Africans. Africans do not use utensils. Straight up. They take whatever that nasty mashed potato looking crap they got is fufu. Yeah. And they like scoop it up and like sop up everything else on the plate and their fingers be all dirty. It's absolutely disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Now, are there certain foods that a black man may eat, you know what I'm saying, with his hands, like a piece of chicken or something like that? Of course. You ain't gonna see a black man scooping up no collard greens with his hand and just shoving it down his throat. You know what I'm saying? That's their culture. They don't really use utensils like that. And not just them, other heathens as well. In India, it's the same thing. In certain parts of China and Japan, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But we always were civilized. Okay? We were never cavemen or any of that. All right? So now where we at? Con. Most High in Christ. So you can go ahead with it, Yanazar.
The book of Numbers, chapter 7, verse 87 in Hebrew. Kal, Habakwar, La'ila, Shanyam, Aishar, Parayam, Ayalam, Shanyam, Aishar, Kabashyam, Banya Shana, Shanyam, Aishar, Wama Nathathum, Washa Ayaria, Isayam, Shanyam, Aishar, Lakata'ath. Verse 88, Wakol, Bakwar, Zabak, Hashalamyam, Aisharium, Wa Arabai, Parayam, Ayalam, Shashashium, Ithadium, Shashashium, Kabashium, Banya Shana, Shashashium, Za'ath, Kanakath, Hama Zabak, Akaria, Hamashath, Athwa. Verse 89. Wababa'ah, Masha al Ahol, Mawa'id, Ladabar, Athwa, Wayashamai, Ath, Hakwawol, Ma Dabar, Aliawa, Ma'al, Hakaparath, Ashar al, Aron, Ha'irath, Mabayan, Shanya, Hakarabia, Wayadabar, Aliawa. next chapter. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayadabar, Yahweh al-Mashah la'amar. Verse 2, Dabar al-Aharon wa amarath aliyawa baha ilafaka. Well, let me get that right. Baha ilafaka. Ilafak, right? Tuada. Ath. Hanarath al Mawol. Panya Haman Nawara. Ya Rawa. Shaba'ith. Hana Rawath. This 83 should be the last one. Waya Aisha Khan Aharan al Mawol Panya Hama Nawarwa Ha'ila Narathia Ka'ashar Tazawa Yahweh Ath Mashah. I don't want 84 should be the last. I'm sorry, Salakia. I just read 8 and 3. Salakia, verse 4. 3 should be the last one, right? 5? Throw out the other one.
Yeah, no, it's like 8 and 4.
Come on, this is the last one here, coming up. Okay.
8 and 4 is your last
Most High in Christ, throw out the other one. Okay. Wazah Ma'aisha Hamanarath Makwasha Zahab Aid Yaraka Aid Paraka Makwasha Hawa'a Kamarwa. This is 8 verse 4. This third line, Kamara. Karama. How do you say that? Kamara. Khan. Ashar. Hara'ah. Yahweh. Ath. Masha. Khan. Aisha. Ath. Hama Nara. Now we go back to the English. Khan, other one, Khan. Okay, previous chapter. We go into verse 87. Or was it 86? No, 87. That's right. The book of Numbers, chapter 7, verse 87. All the oxen for the burnt offerings were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12, with the meat offering, with their meat offering, and the kids of the goats for sin offering 12. Verse 88. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offering were 24 bullocks, the rams 60, the he-goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar. After that, it was anointed. Salakia. Verse 89. And when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of testimony, from between the two cherubims, and he spake unto him. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 1 in the English. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and say unto him, when thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. So I guess this is the first menorah, right? Seems like that, right? Verse 3, and Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlesticks as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 4, Salakia. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold. Unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof was beaten work, according unto the pattern which the Lord had showed Moses. So he made the candlestick. Yeah, that's what it was. Most High in Christ.
Beaten of gold. You know what I'm saying? It means the whole thing was gold, right? From the shaft, right? So you can look at this right here. Salaki. That's a good pause, right? Pause. Right? So from the shaft, right? The base of it, pause. Then the flowers or the branches of it. So gold from the bottom to the top, right? Just like that. Of course, it was a lot larger than this. Yep. Like, I mean, 100 times the size of this?
I think 2 people at least had to.
Yeah, 2 people had to carry it. So imagine 2 akim on each side. There's like a stave where they got to lift it up on their shoulders to carry the menorah. It wasn't a little one like this, man, right? It was a much larger one, right? But go ahead. Understand in the English, correct? Khan. Most High in Christ. It's a lot of gold, by the way. So, you know what I mean? That's a whole lot of gold for just one very large candlestick, and it was gold throughout the tabernacle, right? So we're reading about all this glorious stuff. I'm going to take it to Numbers chapter 8 and verse 5 in the Hebrew, if I could, Baba Kushah. The book of Numbers chapter 8 and verse 5. Waya debar Yahweh al-Mashah la-Amar. Salakia. Kwak ath ha-loyum. Mathawak banya. It's like Mathwaka banya yasha'ala. Wata harath. Athum. Verse 7. Waka the Aisha lahum lataharum hazah al yahum maya kata'ath waha I bar sakya waha I bayarwa the ira al cow basharum wakabaswa wagad yahum sakya bagad yahum wahataharwa. Verse 8. Walakwakwa, par, ban, bakwar, wamanakathwa, salath, balawala, bashamun, wapar, shanya, bun, it's like bun, bakwar, the kwak, lakata'ath. It's like, yes, let's see where I end off. I end off at verse 11. No sweat. Khan. Lakata'ath. It's in verse 8. Verse 9. Wahakwa Rabath. Ath. Haloyum. Lapunya. Aho. Mawa'id. Waha Kwahalawath. Saki. Waha Kwahalath. Ath. Cow. Idath. Banya Yasha'ala. Verse 10. Waha Kwarabath, Ath, Haloyum, Lapunya, Yahweh, Wasamakwa, Banya Yasha'ala, Ath, Yad Yahum, Al, Haloyum. Verse 11. Waha Nayap, Aharun, Ath, Haloyum, Thanawapa, Lapunya, Yahweh Ma'ath, Banya Yasha'ala, Wahayawa, La'ibad, Ath, Ibadath, Yahweh. That's the end of verse 11. The brother's going to pick it back up in the English in verse 5, if you could, Baba Kushah.
The book of...
You checked it?
The book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 5 in English. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 6, take the Levites from among the children of Israel and cleanse them. And thus shalt thou do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh. and let them wash their clothes and so make themselves clean. Verse 8. Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shalt thou take for a sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. Verse 10. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord, and the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. Verse 11. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord.
Most High in Christ. So this is where, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna officially make them the priests. You know what I'm saying? Like official. Like this is the ceremony that's gonna make the Levites the priests from here on out. All right. So that was Numbers chapter 11, or chapter 8 and verse 11. So now I'll pick it up in Numbers chapter 8 and verse 12. The book of Numbers chapter 8 and verse 12. Waha loyum yasamakwa ath yad yahum al ra'ash haparium wa'isha ath ha'akad kata'ath wa'ath ha'akad ilah la Yahweh la kapar al ha loyum. Verse 13. Wa ha'imadath ath haloyum lapunya aharon wa lapunya banyawa wahanapath athum tanawapa la Yahweh. Verse 14. Wa habadalath ath haloyum Mathwaka, Banya Yasha'ala, Wahayawa Laya Haloyum. Verse 15. Wa Akarya Khan Yaba'awa Haloyum La Ibad Ath Ahol Mawa'id Wataharath Athum Lahanapath Athum Thanawapa. Verse 16. So I'll bear with me just a second. Go to 18. God. Verse 16. Kaya Nathanium Hama Laya Mathwaka Banya Yasha'ala Thakath Patarath Kalrahum Lakirahum Bakawar Kal Mabanya Yasha'ala Lakwakathia Athon Laya. Verse 17. Kaya Laya Kal Bakawar Babunya Yasha'ala Ba'adam Waka Zaki Wa Baba Hama Bayawum Hakathia Kal Bakawar Ba'arataza Matazarium Hakwadashthaya Athum Laya. Verse 18. Wa Akwak Ath Haloyum Thakath Kal Bakawar Babunya Yasha'ala. That's the end of verse 18 in the Hebrew. But everyone pick it up at verse 12 in the English.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 12 in English. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, and thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord to make an atonement for the Levites. Verse 13. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for offering unto the Lord. Verse 14. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Verse 15. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for an offering. Verse 16, for they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb.
Right.
Even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel have I taken them unto me.
So you can look at it like this, like, because the Most High says this often. And we see this throughout the scriptures. Firstborn, you know what I'm saying? Taking them unto me, separated them unto me. So it's like, with the Most High, it's like basically who he keeps close to him. Because remember, there's other scripture that says, when it says that, you know, the other nations, this is your wisdom before the nations, right? I'm paraphrasing. And it says that they're supposed to look at us and say, well, what nation is there so great with such great laws who is so nigh unto the Most High? We're an entire nation of people who are close to the Most High. I mean, what? He deals with us, right? You know what I'm saying? The other scripture tells you in Psalms, I believe it is, where it says the other nations haven't known his statutes and his judgments. The 147 Psalms, they have no relationship with him. We're close to him. But amongst us, who was closest to him? We're reading it right now. The Levites. So it was like, imagine, you know, how do I say that? Like, let's say you coach a bunch of different basketball teams, right? And some of them you coach, you do it for your job. But then you got one team, you love this team. This team is, you know, the team from your neighborhood. And you know some of their parents and things like that. So you love, this is your team. But of course, even that team got one player that's your absolute favorite on the team. He's the one right there. That's my guy. So the Lord loved Israel. That's his firstborn of all the nations, right? That's his people. But out of us, he chose the Levites to be closest to him, to be the one. So, you know, they're the mediator between us and the Most High at this time. At one time, it was just Moses, right? It was just Moses. Then the Most High said, no, you take you and your brother, Aaron, and all y'all sons, I'm gonna teach them how to be what you two were to the nation. They're gonna be that forever. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we're reading about right now. So, was there any more in the English?
That was verse
16, I think.
16. We got 17.
Yeah, keep going.
I think we stopped at 18.
Got that? Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Remember, Benjamin, Benjamin or Benjamin, that was not his original name. His name was changed. His mother gave him one name, like Ben Ami or something like that. And Jacob went back. We were talking about in the class yesterday. And Jacob went back and was like, oh, no. You're not naming my son that. It's just like in here when we got to, you know, in the world, your name is George. You know what I'm saying? Or Stanley. But then you get your name changed, right? It happened even in the scriptures. That's not something new. With the Isupk didn't invent that. We do everything that's in the Bible. There was brothers who had one name. Paul's name was Saul, right? There's brothers who had one name and then their name gets changed for whatever reason. Jacob's name was Jacob. His name was literally changed to Israel. So one minute he was Yaquab, then the next day he was walking around. People say, hey, what's your name? Yasha Allah. That was his name, walking around. And then we were named after him, right? So Benjamin, but son of the right hand, just talking about how close he is to the Most High. Like, or better yet, like he's a baby. Nothing is established for him yet. Remember, Benjamin is named. So to put in context what you're asking, Benjamin, that name comes what? 500 years before this, maybe 600 years before what we're reading right now. No more, like probably like 600 around there, because we was in Egypt for 430 years. We already had tribes. Well, we not had tribes, but those 12 brothers already existed. Benjamin is one of the brothers that sold Joseph into slavery. You understand?
No, Benjamin wasn't with them.
No, but Slakia, Benjamin wasn't with them. But I'm saying those brothers, he was already alive. He already had the name Benjamin by this time. You know what I'm saying? Loya just means joined unto me. Their names really had no bearing on their relationship with the Most High. That's just what their parents, Jacob and his wives, decided to name each one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not they didn't get their names based on that. You know what I'm saying? Loyal was named 600 years before this actually took place, and they became the priests. You know what I'm saying?
If I may, sir. Yeah. And also, they were chosen because they stood with Moses when Moses went up on the mountain, and all the children of Israel started acting a fool. You know, when he came down, it was the Levites that helped Moses and stood with Moses,
right?
And this was kind of like their reward,
right,
for standing with Moses,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So the Most High chose them. You know what I'm saying? All the tribes are going to be priests. The firstborn of each tribe was going to be the priest. But because they went against Moses, he made Levites exclusive priests. Is that correct, Adawan?
More so, but like you said, no, you right. Remember Moses is a Levite, Aaron's a Levite. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, so they're basically standing with, like, you know what you're saying. They stood with their brothers because they was already down with Moses and Aaron anyway. And a lot of these are their sons, Moses' sons and Aaron's son, really Aaron mostly. And they're gonna stand with their dads and their brothers and so on and so forth. And so he's like, yeah, nah, that's what he's reading right now. I'm not gonna pick the firstborn, like you said, to be the priest. We're just gonna make it the Levites. Go ahead, read verse 17.
Verse 17. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. And on the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. Verse 18. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel.
Right. So he made a switcheroo. Originally, he was going to be all the firstborn. And he was like, those were going to be the priests, like you said. But he said, nah, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to take the Levites. So go ahead and read start at verse 19 in the Hebrew. If you could, Baba Kasha.
Halawayim.
Haloyim.
Haloyim. Nathanayim. La Aharon. Labakanyawa. Mathawak. Banya Yasha'ala. La Ibad. Abadath. Banya Yasha'ala. Ba'ahol. Mawa'id. Wala Kapar. Al. Banya Yasha'ala. Wala Yahaya. Babanya Yasha'ala. Nagap Bagashath Banya Yasha'ala Al Hakadash. Verse 20. Waya Aish Masha wa Ahron wa Kol Idath Banya Yasha'ala Lala Wayam Kakol Ashar Tazawa Yahawa Ath Masha Lawa Wayam Khan Aishawa Lahum Banya Yasha'ala. Verse 21. Waya Ta'athwa. Ta'awa. Waya Ta'awa. Halawayam. Waya Kabashwa. Bagadiyahum. Waya Napa. Aharon. Athum. Fana Wapa. Lapanya Yahweh. Waya Kapar. Aliyahum. Aharon. Lataharam. Verse 22. La Akarium. No. La Akaria. Khan. Ba'awa. Haloyawum. Okay. Like Ibad, Ath, Abathum, Bahahol, Mawa'id, Lapanya, Aharon, Wala Panya, Banyawa, Ka'ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh Ath, Masha, Al, Ha, Loyum, Khan, Aishawa, Lahum. Verse 22, 23, Salakia. Wayadabar, Yahweh Al Masha, La Amor. Verse 24, Za'ath Ashar, Lalawayam, Mabun.
Maloyim.
Oh,
You verse 23, right?
Khan. La Loyim. La
No,
Loyum.
you in verse 24 now.
Yeah.
Salakia.
La Loyim.
Yep. Laloyum. Two
Laloyim.
Levites.
Okay. Mabun. Kamash. Wa Aisharium.
Mm-hmm.
Shana. Wa Ma'ila. Waibawa. Yabawa. Yabawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yabawa. Latazaba'a. Tazaba'a. Ba'ai Badath. A whole Mawa'id.
I think that's where you stop. No, 25 is the last one.
Khan. Wamabun. Kamashium. Shana. Yashawab. Matazaba'a. Ha'ibada. Ha'abada. Wala'a. Ya Ibad. Iwad.
It's Iwada.
Iwada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Iwada.
What's in Christ? It's in verse 25, right?
Yeah. We go to
Good.
8,
Pick it back up in English if you could, Baba Kusha.
19.
Yeah, start at verse 19.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 19 in English. And have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron, to his son from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come into the sanctuary. So that's like to make sure everything is clean and right.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according unto all that all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. 21. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. Verse 22. And after that went the Levites to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. Verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, this is it that belongeth unto the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 25. And from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more.
And there you have it. So, right? So that means, 25 years, they are in there. That doesn't mean that they can't leave. You know what I mean? But it means that their service is in there. They're not going to farm. They're not going to do nothing else. Their job is to be in that tabernacle doing whatever service is necessary for them from the age of 25 up to 50. Then after 50, the age of 50, their service is done. Right? So that's the end of verse 25, correct? Yeah. You want to say something?
I just want to say that, like, when I read these scriptures and stuff, and I said this before, nobody could just make this stuff up, man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? When you read this stuff, how could you think that somebody just sat down one day and just made this up? That is utter nonsense,
That's
man.
right.
You understand? This Bible is the truth, man.
Damn right.
You understand? And the ISUPK is the home thereof.
That's right. All right. So now we going to verse 26. You wanna you read two, and I read two, and you read the last one. You got so this one and then one more, and we good. You can go ahead and read this one in Hebrew if you want, Baba Shah. Verse 26, and then you're gonna want to go into chapter 9. Yes, there is. Numbers 8 and 26. Okay. No, you 12.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 26 in Hebrew. Washarath, ath, Ikayawa, Ba'ahol, Mawa'id, Lashamar, Mashamarath, Wa'ibadath, La'a, Ya'ibad, Kaka, Fa'aisha, La Loyum, Bamasharatham, no, Bamasharatham. Next chapter. Okay, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1. Wayadabar Yahweh al-Mashah, Bama Dabar, Sayanaya, Bashana, Hashanyath, wait a minute, Hashanyath. That's verse 1, the last word in line 2, Hashanyath.
Verse 1 of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1?
Yeah, 9 verse 1, the last word in the second.
Yeah.
Hashanyath. That is correct. The other one. La Taza'athum.
Actually, might be Shunyatha.
Hashanyatha.
Salakia. I'm gonna say I think it's second. It might be Shanai. So it might be Shanaitha.
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 Okay. Shanaitha.
Salakia.
Most time correct. Lata Atham. Ma'aratazar. Matazarium. Bakadash. Hara Asharwan. La Amor. Verse 2. Waya Aishwa. Banya Yasha'ala Ath. Hapasak. Bama wa Idawa. Okay. Verse number 3. Ba'ai Aishar Yawum Bakadash Hazah Bayan, Irabium for Aishawa, Athwa, Bamawa Idwa, Kakol, Kakwathia, Wakakol, Masha Patayawa, the Aishawa, Athwa. Verse 5. Waya Aishawa, Ath, Hapasak, Bara Shawun, Ba'arabai.
Verse 5?
Yeah, verse 5. Aishar, Yawum, Lakadash, Bayan, Ha'irabiam, Bamadabor, Sayanaya, Kakol.
Sinai.
Isn't that a Yah at the end? You don't say the Yah. Sayanai.
Like, think about like Mount Sinai.
Oh,
That's Sinai.
Sayanai. Oh, okay. Sayanai, Kakol, Ashur, Tazawa, Yahweh, Af, Masha, Khan, Aisha, Banya Yasha Allah.
Aishawa.
Aishawa, Salakia. Aishawa, Banya Yasha Allah. So I ain't right. Verse 6. Wa Yahaya. Up to 10?
No, 6 is the last one.
Okay. Wa Yahaya, Anashiam, Ashur, Hayawa, Tama'ayam, Lanapash, Adam, Wala'ah, Yakalawa, La'aishaf, Hapasak, Salakia, Bayawum, Hahawaya, Hahawa'a, Waya Korabwa, Lapanya, Masha, Lapanya, Aharon, Bayawum. Okay, so now we go back to previous chapter, 26. Okay, prior chapter, verse 26 in the English. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 26 in English. But shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shalt thou do unto the Levites touching their charge. Okay, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1 in English. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt. Verse 2, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. Verse 3, in the 14th day of this month at even, ye shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof, shall ye keep it. Verse 4, and Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. Verse 9, and they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. Verse 6, and there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron that day. That's the end of verse 6.
Passover. You are unclean. I feel bad for you if you couldn't make it out to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you was unclean, you could go to Houston. You know, you can go bowling. You know, you can do stuff, but you couldn't do any. You couldn't go to the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The mansion party, I think, is a little different, but you know that you probably wouldn't want to go to that either. But we got a blast. I know I did in Houston. Ooh wee, you know what I'm saying? And we got a couple of cookouts coming up that I just can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to go to those, man. They're gonna be like mini Passovers. Ooh wee, you know what I'm saying? But we reading about that right now about the Passover. Yeah, you couldn't go to the Passover if you was unclean, right? You could not go. So now, that being said, let's go to Numbers. It's the last set. Numbers chapter 9 and verse 7. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew, if that's 2 hours to you, Yanazar. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew, let you pick it up in the English, right? The book of Numbers chapter 9 and verse 7 in the Hebrew. Waya Amarwa, Ha Anashim, Ha Hahama, Alyawa, Anaknawa, Tama Ayum, Lanapash, Adum, Lama, Nagarai, La Balathia, Hakorab, Ath, Korabun, Yahweh, Bama Aidwa, Bathwaka, Banya Yasha'ala. Verse 8. Waya Amar, Allahum Masha, Imadwa, La Shama'ai, Ma, Yatazawa, Yahweh Lakum. Verse 9. Waya Debar Yahweh al Masha La Amar. Verse 10. Debar al Banya Yasha'ala La Amar, Ayash, Kaya Yahaya, Tama'a Lanapash, Awa, Badar. It's like you Badar. Let me see that. Is that Badarak or is that Badar? Okay, Salak. You 1 second. Khan Badarak, Ra Kakwa, Lakum, Awa, La Darathiakum, Wa Aisha, Pasak, La Yahweh. Verse 11. Bakadash, Hashanya, Ba it's like Ba Arabai, Aishar, Yawam, Bayan, Ha-Irabium, Ya Aishawa, Athawa, Al, Matazawath, Wa Mararium, Ya Akala, it's like you, Wa Akalahawa, it's like you, Wa Akalawa, there we go, Salakia, Wa Akalawa, verse 12. Let's see where I stop at 13. Con. The book of Numbers, chapter 9, and verse 12. La'ah, Yasha, La Sha'ayarwa, Mumnawa, Aid, Bakwar, Wa Aitazum, La'ah, Yashabarwa, Bawa, Kakal, Kakwath, Hapasak, Ya Aishawa, Athawa. Verse 13. Waha Ayash, Ashar, Hawa'ah, Tahawar, Wabadarak, La'ah, Haya, Lakadol, La'aishawath, Hapasak, Wanakarath, what's like here? Wanakaratha, Hanapash, Hahawa'ah, Ma'aimya, Kaya. It's like here, Ma'aimaya, Kaya, Quarabun, Yahweh La'ah, Haquarayab, Bama'aidwa, Kata'awa, Yasha'ah, Ha-Ayash, Ha-Hawa'ah. That's in verse 13 in the Hebrew.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 7 in the English. And those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. So they're asking like, yo, just because we touched this dead body, why we can't participate? Right. That's basically what they're saying, right? Verse 8, and Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord, verse 9, Salakia, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the second month, at evening he shall keep it, and eat with unleavened bread and bitter herb. So now, hold on a second. He's saying that even if they're unclean, they still keep the Passover?
No, he's saying they wait until they're clean. So this right here is similar to, remember, if you recall, right, there's provisions.
He got to wait another month.
Right. Because the Passover is the 14th day of the what? The first month. He's saying you'll keep it the 14th day of the second month, right? I believe when the Passover, when we had issues with the what was supposed to be the 51st annual Passover, it got postponed, right? And General Hyman mentioned how there were provisions, what we're reading right now, there were provisions where if you're unable to keep the Passover the first time, you can keep it at a later date, right? So that's what we attempted to do, but then the venues and the COVID and so on and so forth, right? But yeah, so he's saying, telling them, well, you're defiled right now, keep it next month. Go ahead.
Verse 12. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to the ordinance of the Passover, they shall keep it. So that means they got to cook that goat or that lamb and eat it just like you eat it during the regular Passover.
It's the Passover. They can't do the same way they can't, you know what I mean? They ain't supposed to save up none of it. They're supposed to eat it, right?
Yeah. You can't boil it. You got to burn it, roast it over fire. Okay. 13. What's the last one?
13.
Okay. Verse 13. But the man that is clean and is not in a journey and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin.
In other words, you cannot use the excuse. You know what I'm saying?
I was out of time.
Yeah, I mean, or better yet, you know, you basically can't use an excuse not to go to the Passover. Like basically what it's saying is you're supposed to be at the Passover. You're supposed to keep the Passover, period. If you have a real, it's basically saying the same thing UPK says, right? Before our Passover. If you have a valid reason, of course, you know, and you exempt. But if not, you need to be there, right? Them brothers from the UK used to fly to New York for the Passover. Now, of course, they couldn't because what? The borders are shut down. Same with Canada. Same with brothers in other places. The borders were shut down, so it was very difficult for them to get there. Some brothers could get there. We had Jamaica in the house.
Yeah, that brother from Jamaica was there.
Right. Them borders open. You know what I mean? But UK not open yet. So they couldn't fly. You know what I'm saying? But they when it opens back up, better believe they'll be over here and we will be over there. You understand? But they kept the Passover as best they can. You know what I'm saying? They were given instructions by Commander General Yohana how to go about it. You understand? So yeah, so that's what we're reading right now, man. We get more into this history, into this culture and everything. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna keep building off of that. You know what I'm saying? Over the coming weeks and read more about this history. But we getting into the good part, man. I mean, it's all good parts, but we getting into, you know, into us building up.
If I may. You know, in this kingdom, we were destroyed because we was disconnected from who we were. You know, and we had to, you know, just make up a culture as we went along.
Right.
But in ISUPK, we learn our culture. This is what gives us our strength, man.
Damn right.
And our pride, you know what I'm saying? That we belong to something that was given to us directly from the Most High. And just keep that in mind, because that's golden right there. If you think about it, this was given to us directly from the Most High, man. No other nation has this, man.
Damn right.
You understand what I'm saying? And this is the truth. And this is why we love it so much. You understand? And we try to get our brothers to share, to come in, our brothers and sisters to come in and share this with us, man. This is the spirit of the Most High. This is what he wants.
Damn right. So that was Numbers chapter 9 and verse 13. Next week, we're going to pick it up at Numbers chapter 9 and verse 14. Numbers chapter 9 and verse 14 is where we'll start off next week. We'll continue to do another 7 sets of 7. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin to clip up the Sabbath service, right? So just up here, Imadium. Most High in Christ, men of Israel, gird thyselves and prepare to salute the Torah. How about Shimei Shah Brakiyah?
Yahweh Bashim Hawashai Brakiyah.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, put it down. With that, Imajim, which means to stand. Wapan Yakwadam, which means turn to face the east. Okay. We're going to close out with these prayers. We're going to start out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash. Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Laba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Thabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Parith, La'aiwa Lumyam, Aman.
In the English, our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us. From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it.
So be it. The prayer for power, the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'Shem Hawashai, Baba Kashah, La Thundanawa, Hakak, La Para'ah, Kal Makala, Wa Kal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Ha Matazarium, Hakak, La Hakwiyam, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Rakawath, Hatama'ala, La Garishun, Ba'Shem Hawashai, the Wada Amun.
In the English, Yahweh.
In
the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclein spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Prayer for the blessing. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Ha Saranyam. Ha Quatazayanyam. Ha Koyayoyam. Wa Ha Aquatian. Yahweh. Ba'Shem. Yahweh Shai. The Wada Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The
troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
The sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Ahahorium. Mahayan. Yaba'ah. Izaria. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Waharatazah. Al Yathun. Lamawat. Ragolka. Al Yanawum. Shemarka. Hanala'ah. Yanawum. Wala'ah. Yayashun. Shemarwa. Shawamar. Salakia. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Tazolka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayallah. Yahweh. Yashamarka,
Shamarka,
Makal Rai,
Kalrai,
Yashamar,
Shamar,
Afnapashka,
Apashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Shamar,
Tazaatka,
Zaatka,
Waba Wa'atka,
Wa'aka,
Mayatha,
Ma'atha,
Wa'aid, I will lum.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills,
until the hills.
from whence cometh my
From
help.
which cometh my
My help
help.
cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
to be
He
moved.
that keepeth
He
thee
that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
he that keepeth
shall
Yasha'Allah
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forward
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Adam Yalakah,
Al-Fakarash,
Alta Karash,
wa Al-Fashakwat,
Alpha Shakwat,
Al
Al
Kayahanan,
Kayahana,
Awayabyaka,
Al-Yabika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawun,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Ya-Irayamwa,
Ariyamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Ayatha,
Ya-Aitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Al-Tazapawanyakan,
Al-Tazapawanya,
Amarwa,
Marwa,
Lakawa,
Akawa,
Wanakakidam,
Akakiram,
Magor, ya, Wala'ah, Yazakar,
Zakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasha'al,
Iwada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Kadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Barayath,
Baryah,
Yakarathwa,
Karathwa,
Oholia,
Aholia,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Yashamai,
Yashimai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Awa'aba,
Wahagorium,
Agarium,
Gabor,
Bo,
Wa'aimawan,
Imawan,
Wa'aimalak,
Ramalak,
Palashath,
Palashat,
I'm Yashabia,
Amishabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Amam,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Zorawai,
Salawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Abanyalawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Madian,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Ra'ah,
Kayabian,
Yabian,
Banakol,
Manakol,
Kawashian,
Koyashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Jamadwa,
Ba'ayan,
Ba'ayan,
Dara,
Ra,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Adama,
Adama,
Sayatamwa,
Thamwa,
Nadayamawa,
Nadayamawa,
Ka'irab,
Kairab,
Wakazaba,
Kazabah,
Wakazabak,
Kazabah,
Wakatazol,
Zol,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal Nayakamwa,
Kalnasaykamwa,
Kal Nasayakamwa,
Kalnasaykamwa,
Ashor,
Shor,
Amarwa,
Marwa,
Nayarasha,
Shah,
Lanawa,
Anawa,
Ath,
Ah,
Na'awath,
Na'awa,
Alahayam,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatumwa,
Adamwa,
Kagogala,
Gogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya, Raraka,
Panyawaka,
Aholi, Ka'ash, Lakia,
Ash,
Sabia Iria, Ya Iria,
Ira,
Wakalaba,
Kalaba,
Talahat,
Balahat,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradapma,
Datma,
Basa Iraka,
Irika,
Wabas, Wapathka,
Wabasa, Wapafka,
okay. Fahalum,
Babahalum,
Ma La'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyahum,
Panyahum,
Kuala One,
Kuala One,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shimka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Hawa,
Yabashwa,
Bashwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Aija Aid,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Kaparwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Waya Dayawa,
Wayda
Wayda Iwa,
Wayda Iwa,
Kaya Atha,
Kaya Ata,
Shimka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Badka,
Al Yawan,
Ayawan,
Alka Ha'arataza.
Al Kalha'arataza. In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silent.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still.
And be not still.
For lo,
thine
enemies,
enemies
make a tumult,
make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
have lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people
and consulted against
and consulted against
thy hidden ones.
thy hidden
They have
ones.
said,
Come,
and let us cut them off
let them cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in
For they
remembrance.
have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one
They are
consent.
confederate against thee.
They are confederate
The
against thee.
tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
the Moab,
and Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gebal,
Gebal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
and Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur
Assur
also is joined with them.
is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the
as
Midianites,
unto the
as
Midianites,
to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb,
like Oreb,
like Zeeb,
and like Zeeb.
yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah,
as Zabah,
and as
and
Almunah,
as Almunah,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh
the houses of
in
Yahweh
possession.
in possession.
Oh, my power.
Oh, my power.
Make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame
flame
set the mountains on fire.
set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them
So persecute
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be
and
confounded
troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Sorry. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Sorry. Men of Israel, Amani Shabbat, Amadi Barak, Yahweh Bashim Hawashah, Dr. Matah, class is Smith. Shalom.